Welcome to this week's edition of From the Trainer's Tower. This is where we go out early in the week and get you all the insight on the horses that are going to shape the weekend and further into the carnival. And when I say we, mainly I mean the man next to me, the great Edward Sadler. Ed, thanks for joining us again. You've been on the ground doing hard work ahead of what is a very exciting week of racing with the Group 1 starting again.
I was going to say, Sam, if you meant we, I didn't get to see you. You must have been at a different part of the trading tracks that were visited this week. But no, in all seriousness, it's great to have Group 1 racing back. It's the Black Caviar Lightning Stakes this Saturday. And I feel this is like our equivalent of the 100-metre final at an Olympics. It's about the fastest horses in the country, and our best horses are our sprinters. How quickly can they run in a straight line over 1,000 metres? So it's an exciting race. It's got a great history. So many superstar horses have won it, and it'll be a fascinating race come Saturday.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good meeting as well. We've got Talender, we've got CS Hayes, so there's still more Blue Diamond picture to be made, still more Guineas picture to be put together as well. So there's plenty to look forward to. But before we get into having a bit of a deeper dive on the Lightning, some big news out of Pakenham this morning. You had a chat to our man, Peter Moody, and he had some big news on a couple of his young fillies.
Big weekend coming up. You've got two of your star fillies running on Saturday. She's out by Ole Dancer. How have they come back?
They've both come back very well, both trialled up extremely well, and the last two Tuesdays have both galloped very well on the course proper here this morning. So they're both nom for the Tressity, the mares, and the 3-year-old fillies. Now, I've just had a chat with the ownership group of She's Alibi, Mr. Fred Nofke, and we're not going to run her on Saturday, which makes it highly unlikely that she'll take a place in the Australian Guineas, so it's important to let people know that. I think she was one of the favourites there. It's more than likely she'll run in the Armanasco Stakes at Caulfield Saturday week, en route to the Randwick Guineas. Just thought another week. She's a filly that carries good condition. She works super, but just had a little bit more of a blow than I thought. I sent out a media thing on X earlier this morning, and you would have seen she looks very well, but maybe just a tad too well. So we've made the decision she won't run Saturday. She'll more than likely go to the Armanasco Stakes Saturday week, and that leads to the Randwick Guineas. Or if I thought she needed another gallop, she can go 2 weeks and go to the Surround Stakes first up in Sydney, but highly unlikely that She's Alibi will run in the Australian Guineas now. Ole Dancer, she'll take a place in one of those races on Saturday. I'm not sure now whether it'll be the Desirable or the Tressity, en route to the Surround Stakes. So she probably pulled up a little cleaner in the wind and is certainly ready to go to the races this weekend.
Are you dodging Observer?
Dodging?
Observer, the Godolphin colt that won on the weekend, that's the favourite now for the Australian Guineas?
I didn't realise he was, but no, we're not dodging him at all. I had a benchmark 62 horse, I think, ran third to him on Saturday, so I wasn't dodging him with She's Alibi.
With She's Alibi, going to Sydney second up then, would she most likely stay there for the rest of the autumn?
I don't think she'll have a deep autumn. Our plan was to just have the 2 runs here in Victoria and probably spell her because she had a long spring. But listen, I would never say never. She's been nom for most of the features in Sydney in that mile range, Queen of the Turfs and those types of things, and you've got the Coolmore Stakes. So it might extend her to 2 Sydney runs, but she'll definitely have 1 there. Now, whether that's the Surround or the Randwick Guineas, that will be determined over the next couple of weeks. But certainly won't run this Saturday. First starting point, possibly the Armanasco Saturday week.
So, big news. She's Alibi, our favourite. She was $2.50 for the Oz Guineas. Very unlikely going there because she's not going to be able to run this weekend. Look at you, little gopher on the ground out there breaking all the big stories. So that's big news from Ruth. And he tried to give him a little clip at the end, and he was having none of that, was he?
No, he wasn't. He was in good form moods this morning, even though it was a busy morning, and perhaps not the ideal news there with a horse like She's Alibi. But in saying that, it's early on in the campaign. She's a high-class filly. She came a long way in a short space of time last preparation. And from a trainer's point of view, Melbourne and Sydney, you've got so many options at this time of year, particularly for a horse like her that excels over that 1,400 to 1,600 metre distance range. So we'll have to wait an extra week to see her, but I'm sure it'll be worth the wait.
All right, what we won't have to wait for is the Lightning Stakes this week. This is going to be a ripper. Let's take a look at the nominations, and it's only a field of 10, but there's some real class here. 10 Tyrus, great to see. Biowakt as well. Giga Kick, they're all tight at the top of the market. I think my Gladiola with 53.5 can run some sort of a race as well. What do you make of the nom so far?
Terrific field, very excited about it. Who's a 1,000-metre horse in this race? Because when I look at it, I think Giga Kick's perhaps better over at least 1,100, 1,200 ideally. Baywak's best performance came over 1,400 metres. So who's the horse that gets to shine over the minimum trip come Saturday?
Well, 1,000 at Flemington does feel like a little bit more. I'm sure it would for us. It feels like a little bit more for the horses.
I'm backing you in that 1,000-metre race.
It feels like a little bit more as well for the horses. Let's hear from Sam Friedman talking about Tentaurus.
Sam, Tentaurus, how do you feel he is heading to the Lightning Saturday?
He's in good order. He's fitting well ahead of Saturday's race. So he's had a couple of nice trials and obviously had the exhibition gallop on Saturday, which he's come through well. So no, we're bubbling away and ready to go.
He's been beaten both goes first up. Is he the type of horse that needs a run or two to find his best?
Well, he's been difficult to assess. I think he's first starting a race at Sandown. We had a bit of a setback prior and he got a bit lost down on the inside. It was a really hot day and that was the reason for his performance. He just boiled over a little bit. And first up last prep he was off a 6-month layoff pretty much and just blew out in conditions. So he only had 2.5, 3 weeks out after his waist scratching on the final day, and so he's pretty forward for this. You know, I'd say he's never been this forward going to the races first up before. So you never quite know. You know, maybe it is a pattern that he might just need the run, but looking at him to the eye and the way he's working, he looks pretty ready.
Looks a decent Lightning this year.
Yeah, it always is. There's nowhere to hide. You know, we meet Baywak again, and obviously Giga Kick, who's been to the top plenty of times. So it's a real test, but yeah, I feel like we've got the horse for it.
And looking at him last preparation, he seemed to find a new peak in the Coolmore. Have we seen the best of your horse yet, or is he still climbing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, his peak rating's obviously his last one, so he got better every run in his 2-year-old season, and he got better every run so far in his 3-year-old season. So it's difficult to put a ceiling on where he'll get to. There'll be a ceiling at some point, I'm sure, but hopefully there's a bit of wiggle room yet.
So there it is. I think this day last year, this horse was winning a Talendert before going on and running second in a Diamond. Has really gone on with it to be one of the favourites now in a Lightning.
Yeah, he's always been a high-class horse, but he went to a greater level in the spring, and this is what he was able to do. This is his moment of glory, really. Winning the Coolmore Stud Stakes, showed that electric turn of foot. He'd won the Gothic prior to this. There were question marks over the quality of that form. You couldn't question the quality of the Coolmore form when it brings the best fillies, colts, geldings over the sprint trip to Flemington from Melbourne and Sydney. Excited to see how he gets on, and Sam didn't think that being first up would be an issue for this horse, even though he's naught from 2 first up. Yeah,
they sound like there was some genuine excuses in those others, and this is... Mind you, there'll be some genuine excuses probably in a what looks a pretty strong Lightning as well, with some genuine class. And some of that class is going to be brought by the Mar stable as well. And Jack Turnbull had a chat about a couple of runners that they have set for the Lightning.
Jack, looking ahead to the weekend, 2 coming up in the Lightning Stakes. Benedetta, first of all, perhaps a bit of an indifferent preparation from her first up for your camp?
Yeah, that's right. She's prepped up really well. She's had that longer build up at Fingal now, which is the point of difference for us to have her. And although the 1,000 is and will be at the bottom of her trip, she's going really well. She looks a treat, and whatever she does over 1,000 in that small field Saturday, she will improve.
What does the rest of the preparation look like for her?
Well, performance based and weather orientated as well. So she prefers cut now that she's of her vintage, and whether or not we stay in Victoria, go up to Sydney or make our way over to Adelaide, she will tell us, but Saturday's a good kick-off point.
And Military Tycoon, you're giving her the opportunity to run on the deep end?
We are, yeah. She's fast filly and is a winner down the straight, and with the weight relief of having 53.5, we thought it was a good opportunity to miss the Peter LeGrand and target this race.
Okay, yeah, she's had that one run back from a decent break and then won a jump out last week.
Yeah, exactly right, and did it really comfortably too. So she didn't have a lot of output. Harry had the sit and got to know her a bit more, and yeah, it's a nice build-up. You can make a case for her at the weight, and given the numbers, and I mean, I know it's a class field for quality, but she warrants being there and seems to be in really good form. So, Benedetta and Military Tycoon. Well, Military Tycoon might have
a little bit ahead of it on class, but does get in, as you said, with 53.5 kilos. So some sort of a knockout chance. For me, 53.5 kilos, you're only getting 2 kilos off Tentaris. Probably still a bridge too far. Your thoughts?
And probably over the sprint distances, handicaps aren't quite as relevant as, say, if we were chatting about Melbourne or a Caulfield Cup or something along those lines. What I would say is I can see from an early speed map point of view, and obviously we're chatting before barrier draws and all of those sort of things, but you can see, say, Philosopher, Military Tycoon, they'll be the ones who put a bit of pace on into the race in the early part of it. And then I can see them getting swamped with 200 metres left to go. Benedetta, she did run third in this race last year, Sam. The trouble is, for mine, it's a stronger Lightning this year.
Yeah, I do agree. And I think Philosopher in this race as well are rolling along out in front, but they're going to have to be going around it because I can expect that horse is going to be coming back quickly to the field. It's a bit of a bridge too far for that horse as well. Ethan Brown, he's going to be partnering Giga Kick, and he's had some great news recently as he gets the licence to go across, or the approval to go across to Hong Kong as well. Had a chat to him.
Ethan, congratulations. You've got a contract to ride in Hong Kong. Tell us a bit about the background, how that it's all played out.
Yeah, so I got a phone call probably 2 weeks ago from Terry Bailey, and he offered me, well, he said, would you be interested? And I said, yeah, for sure. And a week later, he rang back and said, all confirmed. So I was very, very happy, very taken by it, but I'm really looking forward to the new challenge.
What do you make of Hong Kong racing? What have you seen? Have you been over there before? All of those things?
Never been there, but I do watch it most weeks, and yeah, I mean, it's different. There's a select pool of jockeys there at a very high class, so it is going to be a challenge, but looking forward to mixing in with them.
So you're there for 3 months. Are you looking at it as an experience point of view, or as something perhaps that could turn into a full-time opportunity?
Play it by ear. See it. I'll be back for Melbourne Spring, and yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm always open to opportunity, and I'm sure if things took off well there, I'd consider something in the future. But yeah, the main focus is getting this 3-month block done and coming back ready for spring.
First meeting there will be April 26th, Champions Day, with 3 Group 1s. You don't muck around, you're making sure you're there for one of the biggest days on the Hong Kong calendar.
Yeah, it's definitely a good day. Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to ride there that day, but take it as it comes. And yeah, I mean, I've got a few phone calls to make and sort of put things in place, and hopefully I can get there with a plan and hit the ground running.
And to the more immediate future, Giga Kick and Lightning, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I reckon he's going really good. I done his last trial before his first up run last prep when Mark rode him, and he trialled well then, and I thought he was much sharper the other day. I think Clayton's, he's got that residual fitness, but Clayton's kept him fresh. 1,000 will suit him down the ground first up.
Well, that's big news, isn't it, for him as well? And I'm glad Ethan's got this opportunity. You know Hong Kong probably better than most. What's going to be like for Ethan getting over there, getting rides when he initially gets there?
Great opportunity for him. It's one of those things, I think you want to play the long game and not have too many hard and fast expectations, because it takes such a long time for any new jockey coming to Hong Kong to really get the lay of the land, build up relationships, all of those sort of things, and so many of the rides and the horses are already taken up by that point of the season. So if Ethan rode a handful of winners for that 3-month stint that he's there for over the latter part of the season, I think he would have done a good job. But what I would say with him from a more positive point of view, Zach Purden, Hugh Bowman, they're both in their 40s. They're 1 and 2 jockeys at the moment in Hong Kong. They're not going to be there forever. So it's a good opportunity to put some feelers out there to get a taste for Hong Kong racing, because they will be looking for a new top jockey at some stage, I reckon, in the next 3 to 5 years.
Great news for Ethan. All right, time for a break now. On from the Trainers Tower. You're watching Racing.com. Welcome back to From the Trainers Tower. Now, we had a chat to Jack Turnbull earlier about his lightning chances, or the stable's lightning chances, but the Mar team have a swathe of runners across Saturday as well. Let's hear from him about the rest of the team.
West of Swindon, he's back this Saturday?
He is, yeah, first up in the CSAs. Had a solid gallop this morning with Brownie. He sat off and joined, and he's clearly, he's a decent horse, and if he was to be good first up. He probably squares off with Observer and the Oz Guineas.
How did Observer come through that win on Saturday?
Really good. Yeah, he's super exciting to come back like that first up off a Derby win. It's pretty rare. I've heard a couple of stats where it's been a long, long time. So it's just his ability to begin control at a shorter trip and then quicken off that when he's got stamina and the ability to get over further. So super exciting, and he warrants being a short price favourite for the Guineas.
St George also runs this Saturday, 2,500 metres. Is the aim for him this prep to try to chase that ticket into the Melbourne Cup?
It is, yeah. So he'll be 25 Saturday open, and then I think it's 3 weeks or a month into the Roy Higgins, which has been his long-range target. And, hopefully it pulls off. It's warranted as to how he's going, and pretty well known his issues. But if we can get that golden ticket, it'll be great for the group.
And has it just been the case if you've had to keep him ticking over now that he's a fit, in-form horse?
Yeah, that's right. Fingal's been the making of him. He gets shoes on race day and they come off the next day, and he just loves being in work. I guess we've simulated a European training style where he doesn't rest as such on grass but stays active and just ticks over, albeit very light. So it's working, and hopefully it continues to race day.
And is there a 2-year-old the stable's going to unveil this Saturday at Flemington?
There is. He's called Shah Jahan. So don't ask me what it means, but one of Robert McClure's, who he bred out of a mare that we bought the sister to at Magics this year. So he goes really well. Good opportunity for black type first up, and although he'll get further in time, he's going well enough to be competitive Saturday.
And this morning for the here and now, Pride of Jenny, what did you think of her jump out?
Really good. She just gets better with age. She was in a trial that was very speedy and sharp. I think 3 Oakley Plate horses were in that and will go to the sprint race. So for a half-mile performance, she did all that she could. Obviously, they're going to be quicker than her, but we just instructed Tom to lean against her and just bridle up everywhere. So she will have a second one over 1,200 and then be first up in the All-Star Mile in a couple of weeks.
Well, I'd like to think that they would be very, very happy now hearing that she's an alibi is out of the Australian Guineas. I obviously didn't know when you did that that interview, but that'd be big news for Observer now, wouldn't it?
Huge. Yep. He'll be very, very hard to beat. It looked like it was going to be a match race between those two, but for mine, all one-way traffic in favour of Observer, particularly after what he was able to do on Saturday. Jack Turnbull, always great to catch up with him. He's boss, the trainer, Kieran Maher, enjoying the Super Bowl yesterday.
So where is he?
Yep,
yeah.
So San Francisco was where he was at that point of the interview. So hence why we got the lowdown there from Jack.
Okay. Well, this next one, this is always one of my favourites, these sort of interviews. This is where Ed had a chat to his dad about the runners ahead of the weekend.
Dad Taviu runs on Saturday, back to Flemington. She's performed well there. Can she bounce back after Caulfield?
I think so, Edward. Actually, things didn't go her way at all at Caulfield. I didn't think it was a good ride, and Luke was the first one to put his hand up and say it wasn't. She's a freewheeling mare. Flemington suits better. 2000, benchmark 78. With a little bit of luck in running, she'd be very hard to beat.
Why have you picked the 2000 rather than the 25?
Well, it's the looking further down the track. There's a listed race here in a few weeks, the Jeff Tawney, named after a great man actually. It's a listed race. It's 25, so I thought another 2000. Then into the 25, and that sort of will be this time in her grand final, I'd say.
OK, so the Adelaide Cup was mentioned, but is that off the agenda?
Yeah, I think 2 mile, I think it may happen for her, but I think it'll be next prep.
You've always had a lot of time for her. What's clicked this preparation?
Look, she's had loads of problems. She had a knee chip removed. She's got bad feet, and I would say the reason her form has turned around is because that she's now sound, and she's actually really enjoying her racing.
So she's been in good form, Marigold's been in good form, it's been a good start to 2026 for the stable?
Yeah, they're two, really good, consistent mares. Marigold went and had a little break, she's just come back in. She's being set for the Gold Distaff, I think it is, on the 14th at Caulfield. It's that big Vobis Day. So she won that race last year, so we're going to have another crack at it this year. But yeah, 2 good mares.
Great to hear Tavu sound and racing well, and great to see Marigold kick off the season in style, kick off the preparation in style. Edward, do you get called Edward by the family at home also?
I do, Samuel. Yes, I do indeed. But no, the old man's been
not my
going
name,
well.
though. Hey. Edward is your name.
It is. I haven't checked your birth certificate
I'm just
lately,
Sam.
Sam.
Just Sam.
Just Sam.
Lately. Well, you should remember from last time you checked it, shouldn't you? Well, that's it for this little period. We're off to a break now on Racing.com. Don't go anywhere. More to come off the back end. Welcome back to From the Trainers Tower. Now it's Lightning Weekend, and while Ed Sadler was out at Pakenham this morning, he caught up with Peter Moody, who the great race is named after.
Quite often you get the chance to win a race named in your own honour, which she had the opportunity to do back in 2013, but that's a long time ago now, Ed. We've actually late nommed one for the race, but probably doubtful it'll take its place. But it's always a great spectacle, isn't it? 1,000 metres down the straight and see the good sprinters back and probably the first opportunity where you see the good 3-year-olds taking on the older horses. You know, it's exciting when you got horses like Tentaris and the likes going down there against the older horses. We didn't get to see it in the spring, so this is the first exposure at the autumn. And the 3-year-olds look pretty good across the board. So, and a few of the older horses are a bit longer in the tooth now, and a few are retired. So over all distance ranges, it's always exciting to see them step up and see where they fit into the scheme of things at weight for age.
If we were sitting at a pub having a 4X together and it said to you Black Caviar versus K-ing Rising, what would you say?
One's undefeated.
He's too good. He's too good is Moods, and of course the race isn't named after Moods. Not yet. He might get one day, but it is after the great mare Black Caviar, who was undefeated in 25. So Lightning Stakes this weekend, first Group 1 of this autumn carnival, which is I guess still summer at the moment. What are your final thoughts? Oh, ahead of Barrack. Look, and we are early in the week here, but we can't wait until later in the week, can we? We have to make a call now.
We do. I'll give you 2, Sam. Barrack Hill, I think, is the 1,000-metre specialist, to answer my own question from 20 minutes ago. He's the Moya winner from earlier this year. Question is the straight track for him, but he's going to excel over the distance and he looks to have come back well. And Tentaris is that X-factor horse, as Sam said. We don't know what his ceiling is just yet. Who's your tip, big fella?
Look, you just can't leave Barrack Hill out. I do understand. The horse just keeps raising the bar as a 7-year-old, doesn't it? I think Tentaris, I'd like to see the good horses winning. I'd like to see that horse win. But I tell you what, Biowact, I heard from Benny Mellum this morning, who'd ridden the horse in Trackwork, and he just said the horse feels a lot more relaxed this time in. And you're getting around that $7.50 at the moment. I could entertain a little each way play on that horse as well. But plenty to look forward to, I think, on Saturday.
Absolutely. Really good day of racing. And then we've got Blue Diamond Day next weekend to look forward to. So each week it just keeps going up a notch, Sam.
It does. We're into it now. We're not far away from all the Group 1s kicking off this Saturday. Good luck if you're having a punt on the weekend. Enjoy your racing as we get the final pieces to the puzzle of a Guineas and a Blue Diamond as well.